Lyft is teaming up with Atlanta Public Schools. Is this a potential trend? I see some pros and cons with it. Let's talk about it. Welcome everyone, I'm Mark. This is Mark's Travel Time. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to ask that you click my face in the corner to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell icon so you know when I post new videos. This story is really interesting because Lyft is pretty savvy. They have a tendency to partner with well-established companies and corporations. They've partnered with Disney, they partnered with hotel chains like Hilton, and now they are partnering with Atlanta Public Schools. And speaking of partnering, I was talking to a couple of my fellow YouTubers, Kevin and Dustin, recently, and they told me about the Get Upside app. They said you could save money every time you buy gas. I said, come on guys, there's no such thing as free money. I held off on it. Sure enough, I picked this thing up, and when I travel, I found that all I have to do is look on the app for a participating gas station. I fill up and you get money back. And you get it back normally in the form of gift cards. I mean, it's so cool. You're going to get gas anyways. You might as well get gas and save a little money in the process. So you can go down below, and I have my link there to sign up. They will ask for your phone number. They'll send you a link. You can use my code, and I would really appreciate it because when you use my code upon your sign up, you save money and I'll save a little bit of money as well. So Atlanta Public Schools. This is a real interesting story. I picked this up off of WSB-TV, the local television station. Rideshare company Lyft has partnered with Atlanta Public Schools to make sure families have access to reliable transportation during the pandemic. As I said, I see some positives and negatives with this. We'll read a little further, and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking. The partnership began at the beginning of this year, and the Lift Up initiative has helped 110 families so far. So clearly, they are cherry picking. 110 families is a drop in the bucket for a school district the size of Atlanta. However, there still is a good side to this. It says a rideshare company provided free credits for students and their families who did not have or had limited access to public transportation due to coronavirus. So here's the thing. What they are going to do is hook up a driver and one of these families. The families get the free credit. When I say hook it up, I mean it's just, a regular order through the app, I would assume. Here are pluses and minuses the way I see it. The plus, obviously, we're getting a little more work. And I'm going to assume if this is kids going to school, that is going to be pretty darn regular. Once you establish a pattern, there's probably a good chance that you can get that student again and again. So they quote a mother here. Monica Hart lives 35 minutes from her son's high school. And she said that the guidance counselor has pretty much hooked us up with rideshare and Lyft, which enables her son to get back and forth to school every day. All right, here are some of the negatives the way I see it. The positives are great. There's a potential to get more work. There's a potential to recognize patterns, get regular work. But now we are right back to dealing with minors in our car. And I don't drive for Lyft. I drive for Uber. So maybe some of you that drive for Lyft can clue me in a little bit. But this whole idea of having minors in the car, it can't be a good thing. I would strongly recommend, if you are participating in a program similar to this, where you're going to have minors in your car, in fact, anytime you have someone in your car, get yourself a camera. Get yourself a camera that is recording inside the cabin of your vehicle. I just don't like putting myself at that type of risk. It goes on to say how happy she was, how convenient she was, and how successful this was for her family, one of the 110 families that is being served by this program. Of course, the other drawback, it's really small. And if this should expand, how how long will this be? I mean, is this going to be something where we fall into a pattern and then the bottom falls out as soon as, all these concerns over the pandemic ends? The other thing I'm curious about is what's unique about the pandemic. It says here that she lives 35 minutes from her son's high school, and the Lyft Up program made sure he got to school on time. Well, why wasn't this happening before the pandemic? I'm not following the logic there. I don't know why this is related to the pandemic in any way. Either people need rides to school or they don't. Pandemic or no pandemic. As a matter of fact, I would think it would be more necessary during the regular normal time, because a lot of people just aren't going to school right now. They're using different options for schooling. They're doing online education. They have limited numbers of days that they're physically attending school. That's the types of trends we're seeing right now. So I don't see why this is unique to pandemic. And finally, what is one of the best ways that we get money? Tipping, right? Tipping is really powerful for us, especially the cash tip. Now, I'm going to assume that, and maybe my assumption's wrong, but I'm going to assume if people already are having problems, I'm assuming a lot of this is going to be, and I'm not talking specifically to this woman that I quoted, but in general, people that are having problems with public transportation, there's probably a really good chance that they are low income. People who are low income who need the support of supplemental programs like this probably are not in a position to tip. Now, I know a lot of you might be thinking, well, that's okay. It'll make me feel good. I'm still getting the money from the ride itself. And if that's your attitude, no problem. But I think for a lot of people that rely on that income and they rely on tipping, what's very likely to happen with subsidized programs like this and partnership programs is tipping may fall to the wayside. But I would love to hear what you think. Has anything like this come to your community? Are you participating as a driver in one of these partnership programs? If so, share with me down below how that's working for you. Am I right in my assumption that maybe the tips aren't as strong as they could or should be? And if you're someone who's using the program, share your experiences as well. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. If you haven't already, please click my face in the corner to subscribe or ring the bell icon up above. That way you'll know when I post new videos and it will show me that you care. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Mark. This is Mark's Travel Time.